Hello, good morning. Welcome to my channel, Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and this is Wednesday morning, May 1st, 2024, and I am going to try to do an announcement video for a new reading event. I am currently on the Fredericksburg Canal Trail, and I wanted to do something vaguely outdoorish or sport-like for this event because this readathon or reading event is called the Summer of Sport. There are a number of different co-hosts, including myself. I'm going from memory. There is Mark at Book Time from Elvis. There is Randy Ray. There is Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. And there is Steve Donahue. Now, unfortunately, I think I forgot one or two people. I'm sorry. But this idea is to read about sports during the summer, which is a very weird event for me to be doing because I'm really not a sports person at all. I don't like watching football. For an American, that is rather unusual. I don't like watching baseball, which is still rather unusual, although I will go to an occasional Fred Nats game. That is the Fredericksburg Nationals. That is the minor league team here in Fredericksburg, Virginia, because it's fun to go to those little baseball games where you get in rather cheaply and the beer costs more than the ticket to get into the event. Now, I do drink the premium beer from Six Bears and a Goat. Six Bears and a Goat is the local brewery. I mean, I could get cheaper beer like Bud Light for less, but why drink Bud Light? Well, anyway, the idea for the Summer of Sports is to read sports books, fiction or nonfiction. Any kind of sport that you want to say is a sport can be a sport. Although, you know, you'd have baseball, you could have football, you could have boxing, you could have soccer, you could have hockey, whatever floats your boat. The only one that I'm going to say that really isn't a sport, and I'm borrowing this from Mark at Book Time from Elvis, is hunting. I don't think hunting animals is a sport of any kind whatsoever. I may be biased there. So, the idea is just pick a book and read it. You only have to read one book on sports to be belonging to or into participating in the Summer of Sport. Now, as I said, I'm not a big sports fan, and I have not read a lot of sports books. So this is going to be somewhat a new experience for me. Sort of like what I had when June on the Range started a few years ago. I had really not been into Western books, but ever since then, I've been into Western books. So let's see if the Summer of Sport can introduce me to some good sports books. The one sport book that I have read in the past and did like a lot was Fat City. That is the story of a young man who wants to be a professional boxer. You know, his life is kind of lowly, and he thinks he can become a great boxing star. Not in the stars for this character. So it is a story of a man's struggle to find meaning in his life through sports. And again, that was Fat City. I may reread that, I may not. The one book that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to try to read is The Natural by Bernard Malamud. That was a 1952 novel. It has been called the best baseball novel ever written. I shall see. Other than that, I also am very tempted to pick up some nonfiction about sports. I am thinking of picking up On Boxing by Joyce Carol Oates. She wrote a very good novel about women in boxing and the debate around abortion. Of course, that was written before Roe versus Wade was overturned. That is the Book of American Martyrs, I believe. I'll have to correct that, down below if I'm incorrect. And that was a really good book because it again told the story of a woman who was a boxer and her and the way that she wanted to better herself through sport. So that's another book that I can recommend. If I really wanted to press the issue, maybe I could read The Sports Writer by Richard Ford. I mean, that's just about writing about sports. Maybe that would count too. So anyway, that is what I'm going to seek out. I don't know if I'll be reading anything else because there may be things I just discover watching other BookTube channels on the summer of sport and see what I can discover. Well, anyway, thank you for watching and keep on reading.